welcome back. It's so good to see you. So today we're going to be talking about what I've been watching for the month of March. As usual, I have my notes over here because if I don't have notes, I'll be like, wait a minute, what did I watch? And I'll be completely lost and I won't remember what it was about, who was in it. So I have to have my notes. I have to. Before we get into the video, I do want to mention that my husband is downstairs. I know. So if you hear background noise, it's his fault. It's his fault. You can talk trash about him in the comments. Also, it's very dark and gross looking outside. It's not supposed to rain, but it sure does look like it's gonna rain. So if the lighting quality, picture quality is off, that's why. Because I can never get the lighting right when it's dark and foreboding outside like this. So I apologize. Maybe just use it as background noise to help you relax and drift off to sleep. But if you were here for the actual recommendations, oh my goodness, get ready. Okay, so the first two things I'm going to talk about, but I'm not actually going to talk about it. I just need you to know that I watched them, and you need to watch them too. Because I've already talked about them on the channel before, so I'm not going to get all into it like I have. I need you to watch these. Okay, so for the first thing, is School Spirits 2, Season 2. This is on Paramount Plus. I didn't write the Rotten Tomato score or who's in it because I've already talked about it, I have waited, I believe, 2 or 3 years for Season 2 to come out, okay? And I had watched it repeatedly because it was just so good. It's about ghosts that are like trapped in this school, which is why they're called school spirits or whatever, but it's so much more intense and complicated and stuff like that. And when you get to the cliffhanger at the end of Season 1, well, Season 2 is finally out, so please watch Season 1 and Season 2. Season 2 is so much better than Season 1, and Season 1 was fantastic. I watched Season 1 probably 4, maybe 5 times. Season 3 just finished, I don't know, I think it finished like maybe at the beginning or the middle of the month. I've watched it 3 times, okay, because I watched it by myself, and then I was like, this show is so good, I need my daughter to watch this, so I rewatched Season 1 with her, and then she watched Season 2, and we binged it, okay? It was so good, and she is obsessed now. And it was so good, and me and her were trying to have conversations about it, and then my husband would be around, and I'm like, you haven't watched Season 2? What is wrong with you? And I've mentioned that me and my husband were on opposite schedules because he works nights now, and I told him, I was like, you have to watch this. And he watched it, and he was just like, oh my god. Season 3 has already been confirmed. It's going to be coming out in 2026, so we don't have to wait 2 years for it, okay? Yay. Season 2 is so good. So good and jaw-dropping, and I'm gonna tell you, they cut you off just like they did in Season 1. They cut you off like mid-scene, and I literally sat up and I said, what the F? I like yelled at the TV. I was like, what? My daughter, she didn't say what the F, but she sat up, she looked at me with like a death stare, and she was like, what? How could you do this to me? My husband did the same thing. He was like, what the F? Because it is so like, what the F? If you've seen it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Fantastic. Please go watch both seasons. It's amazing. Okay, the second one is Severance Season 2. This is on Apple TV or Plus, Apple TV Plus. I don't know what it is. It's Apple. It's the Apple thing. I have only watched it once. Sorry, my phone just went off. Making sure it's not the school or something. I've only watched it once. Because I just don't think that my daughter would like this show. And there's really no explaining the show. It's just about people who have some type of severance procedure where their brain is severed, different parts of it. So like when you go to work, that's work you have no memory of anything that happens at work. When you go home, that's home you. And they don't know. It's like they're two different people in the same body. It's more of an adult show. Like there's adult concepts to it. So like my daughter, I don't think that she could really appreciate it. Me and my husband love the show. He has not watched season 2 just because I don't know if he's gonna like season 2 as much. I was talking to my in-laws about it because they're the ones who told me about this show, like, I don't know, 4 years ago or something like that. They told me about the show. And we've been waiting for 3 years for season 2 to come out. Season 3 is scheduled to come out in 2026, so next year, so we don't have to wait 3 years, okay? But season 2 picks up right where season 1 ended, and this season was completely different. If you've never seen the show, you won't just skip to the next thing, okay? Season 2, originally I thought it was bad. I was like, I'm gonna have to talk crap about this show in a video, and season 1 was so fantastic. I watched it like 3 times. Season 2, I literally felt like I was on a permanent acid trip all the way through. I was like, what the hell is going, what? It was so, like, it was much slower this season, but they did that to build up to the last episode. The last episode makes up for all the other episodes before it. It answers all of your questions, and it is so intense that like my heart was racing like the whole time. I was just like, oh my god. And then it ends and you're just like, what is going to happen? How is this going to happen? And like my father-in-law, he watched all of the episodes except the last episode because he was like, ugh, who cares? Like this season was so blah. And I was like, no, you must watch the last episode, because I agreed with him. I was like, this season was just like, ugh. It was all a build-up. It was all a build-up, and everything is in the final episode. And it's like, your brain will explode. Like, I do want to mention something. Since you're here, you like ASMR, obviously. There's a channel, I've mentioned it before, No Frills ASMR. Linda, oh my goodness. No Frills ASMR did a video probably about a month and a half ago. She obviously watches Severance, okay? I've watched it like 6 times or something. It is the greatest video ever. If I can remember to link it, I will link it in the description, because she does a video that it like puts you in a trance where she is doing a wellness counsel session, and she lets you know about your Audi. If you watch Severance, you understand about the Audis. And I was like, oh my gosh, I need to know everything about my Audi. The video is like 7 minutes long, but it's like, oh, I need this to be like 2 hours long. It was the best video ever, ever. Do another one, please. Anyway, but yeah, you gotta watch Severance too. It's gonna suck until the last episode. Okay, anyway, on to the new stuff that I have watched this month. Okay, the first thing that I watched was a recommendation from a subscribee. Thank you. If you have any recommendations, please tell me, because I'm always looking for something new to watch. This one I was kind of on the fence about, and I was just like, eh. I'm so glad this person recommended it. It is called The Way Home, and it is a Hallmark Channel original. And that's where I was like, because I'm not a fan of Hallmark Channel. You can also watch it on Peacock, because I think Hallmark is part of Peacock. I don't know. Anyway, Rotten Tomato score, ? It literally says that if you go to Rotten Tomatoes and type this in, The Way Home, ? It's like, I don't know. Audience score, 91. And I 100% agree. It stars Andy McDowell, Kyler Lee, Sadie LaFems. No, I don't know. I'm the worst at pronouncing names. There's a bunch of people in the show. How to describe the show? I'm gonna read the description and then kind of tell you about it, because the description is like crap. It says 3 strong, independent women living together in a small farm town. Super Hallmarky, right? Embark on an enlightening and surprising adventure. That sounds stupid. So dumb. It is not dumb. At first you have to get into it. And at first it has a Hallmarky feel. And then that just erases and you're just locked in. Okay. It has 3 seasons so far. Season 4 is confirmed and it's coming out next year. I binged this. Like, I watched nothing else except this until it was done. And I was like, now. When it was over, I was like, now. Okay, so it does have to do with 3 women. It's 3 generations. It's grandmother, mother, daughter, granddaughter. You know what I mean? And they all end up living together at the mother's childhood home with her mother and her daughter. And there's like a mystery within their family. Like, the dad is no longer around, like the grandpa dad. I know it's hard because it's like mom, dad, mom, whatever. The grandpa died like when the mom was maybe going to college or something like that. He died a long time ago. And also there was a mysterious thing that happened to her brother, and throughout the whole first season, it's very mysterious. You're like, what happened to her brother? Because the brother is just gone. And you're like, did he die? Is he missing? Like, what is happening? You find out. You do find out. But what is interesting about this show is, and I know it sounds stupid, just this is one of those shows you gotta go with, okay? It's a time traveling show. I know. But it's amazing. And it kind of reminds me of Outlander. Except it's on the Hallmark Channel, so there's no ridiculous in-your-face sex. Which I appreciate. Because Outlander is a good show, but it's like, I don't need to see all that. You know what I mean? This is like Outlander, except instead of going through the rocks in Outlander, you jump in a pond. I know. it's very interesting to see how this pond time travel is discovered. It's really cool. And whoever wrote this, like, writers who do this kind of thing, shows like this, it's like you must have like the biggest brain, okay? Because it's a time travel, things happen in the past and in the present time. There's no going to the future. There's no going to the future. It's just present time and the past, okay? But it's like things that happen in the past affect the future, and things that are in the future are because of things in the past. But like the way everything connects, it's just so cool. It's so cool. And it's so many things happen in one episode that it's like I can't even tell you. Like, that's just what the show's about. Once you get into it, it's just like you can't stop watching it. It's so good. So good. Totally binge worthy. And I'm glad whoever told me, I'm glad about the person that told me about this. They waited. Because I was able to binge 3 full seasons. And I like binging shows. I don't like having to wait week by week to get another episode. I hate it when there's a show going on like that. I wait until I can binge almost the whole season. And I don't know, that's just what I do. Okay, the next thing that I watched, I believe it's a limited series. This is called Long Bright River. It is on Peacock. Rotten Tomato score gave it a 71. Audience score gave it a 62. Like 75, 80, I would think. And it stars Amanda Seyfried, if that's how you say her name. I don't know anybody else in the show. She's the only reason that I watched it. Okay, so it's a very dark show. Like, as in lighting, it's very dark, but the feel is very dark as well. So it's about this young police officer, which is Amanda Seyfried, and she is patrolling the streets of Philadelphia. These are the streets that she grew up on. And there has been like a series of murders, although it looks like drug overdoses, because it has to do with a lot of like street people, like prostitutes, homeless people, who are dying. And at first it looks like drug overdoses, but it turns out to be a series of murder. Like, there's a serial killer on the loose or something, but this police officer takes, this is like personal for her, because you find out that her sister has gone missing. And this is not a new thing for her sister, because her sister is addicted to drugs. I think like meth or crack, maybe. I don't know. But her sister is a prostitute, a drug addict, living on the streets, that kind of thing. And her sister goes missing. So now with all these murders going on, she is very worried. Like, is the next person that pops up going to be her sister? And it's just like, yikes. But it's just about her trying to find her sister and solve the murders, but you get to see like stuff about her past. Like, it does a lot of this happened back in the day and then present, you know what I mean, like flashback type of thing. And you find out a lot about her life and how her and her sister ended up the way that they are, because it's two completely sides, how did they end up this way? And there are some very sad parts and very like shocking parts. Like, what? It just sucks. The show is actually pretty good. Would I watch it again? No. I don't want to go down that road again. It's pretty good, but I think because of how dark it is and how real it is why it got such low reviews, because it's like, it's just too much. It's too much. What is the word? Like hardships, like I don't know. It's and I don't like how it ended, because it's like, I want more information. I just want more, you know. But I do recommend watching it at least once. At least once. Okay, the next thing that I watched was a movie on Max, and it is called Heretic. Rotten Tomatoes score gave it a 91. Audience score gave it a 76. And I can completely agree with both, and I will explain why. It stars Hugh Grant, Sophie Thatcher, and Chloe East. I remember when this came out sometime last year in the theater, I was like, ooh, I can't wait for it to come out, like streaming, because I want to see this. Okay, because Hugh Grant, he's such a good actor, but in this movie, based off of the trailer, I was like, he's like a creepy killer or something, right? So it says two young missionaries are forced to prove their faith when they knock on the wrong door. Hugh Grant is very creepy in this movie. Very, very creepy. But it's not scary. It's not scary at all. What did I say? It's not scary. It's interesting. But I think a lot of people who watch this would get angry. Or mad. So these two, and I think they're Mormons. These two young girls are like, they're like going through town, riding their bikes and spreading the word. Like, would you like to hear more about Jesus or whatever, And some people signed up for like, yes, come and talk to me, at my house when I have time, blah blah blah. So these two girls, they go to Hugh Grant's house, and they're like, did you sign up for this? And he's like, oh, yes, come in. And they're like, is your wife home? Because they're not allowed to enter the house unless his wife is there. And he's like, yes, she's in the kitchen. She's baking a pie. And they're like, oh, okay, that's cool. So they go into the house, and he's sitting there talking to them. And this is all like in the trailer or whatever. But he's sitting there talking to them, and he's like, let me go get my wife or whatever, see if the pie is ready. I don't know. And they're sitting there looking, and right in front of them is a candle, and the girl like turns the candle around, and it is a blueberry pie candle. There's no pie. And then they're like, whoa, this is weird. We gotta get out of here. They cannot leave. The house is locked. Hugh Grant sets it up into a situation where it's basically like, who's that guy? He's like a serial killer that had a house or a hotel or something. God, I can't think of the name. But anyway, like, it's like traps are everywhere and you can't get out, that kind of thing. It's like that. And he's very calm. Like, Hugh Grant is very calm and just chill and cool, and it makes it much more creepy. And he's explaining to them the whole time, he's like, you're free to leave whenever you want, you just have to choose the right door. And he's testing their faith, and he explains to them that he was like a professor or something, and like he did all this research to try and find the one true religion, and I completely understand everything that he was saying, like, because I have researched so many, like, even when I was in college, like, I took all the religious classes and stuff because I love learning about religion. So I was like, yes, what is going on? What is the one true religion? Because he says, I found it. And I'm like, oh, please tell me. But the reason why I think people got mad is because Hugh Grant actually does tell you what the one true religion is. And me and my husband, we paused this movie so many times because we were like, every time Hugh Grant said something, we're like, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. And I can see why people who are religious, who have certain faith beliefs, could get very angry, which is why I'm like, audience score gave it a 76, because a lot of people must have gotten mad. 91, because Hugh Grant be speaking truth. He's a crazy psycho killer, or I don't know. He's crazy, okay? But is he? He took it to the extreme. But if you're more of a spiritual person, that's one thing that he did not include in any of his arguments or any of this. There was no spirituality. And you know me, I am not religious. I am a spiritual person. And so is my husband. And we were both like, okay, but what about this? He never mentioned anything about that. But that's because spirituality is different from religion. I happen to believe that the character Hugh Grant plays is 100% in his discovery of what the one true religion is. If you've seen it and you don't agree, don't be mad at me. Everybody's allowed to believe what they want to believe. I just happen to believe that Hugh Grant was not wrong. Crazy. Took it too far. But he was not wrong. So I recommend watching it at least once, especially if you're not religious. If you are religious, maybe don't watch this one. Okay. The next thing that I watched was, I'm still watching it. I thought I would be done, but then I found out there were 2 more episodes coming out. And I'm just like, I need to talk about it now. So I don't even know if it is a limited series or if it is a full, like, gonna be a season 2 type thing. I really hope that it's a limited series and not a second season type thing, because if it is a second season type thing, I'm not gonna watch it. This is also on Peacock. I think I watch a lot of stuff on Peacock. But it's called Grosse Pointe Garden Society. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 70% so far. Audience score gave it an 87. It stars a bunch of people. Melissa Fumero, Asha, Naomi King, Anna Sophia Robb, Ben Rappaport. Meh. That's how I feel about it. Just meh. Okay. It's about, like, wealthy suburban, I would say women, but there is a man. But it's like wealthy suburban people who are part of a garden club, and except one of them, who originally is like, to all the people, she was arrested And instead of spending time in jail, they offered her community service within this garden club to beautify the town, I guess. And she's very like, no. Like, she's very snobby, like, dirt does not go under these nails type of person, you know? But she ends up making friends with a certain group of people. And then they find themselves entangled in a scandalous murder. And the show constantly does this, like, present time, 6 months from now. Present time, 6 months from now. And that's how you know 6 months from now, these people that are just like the perfect suburban housewife, blah, their life is changing. 6 months from now, it is not perfect. Things are shady. What is going on? And it's basically like the whole time you're trying to figure out like what happened in between this time and this time. It sounds like it could be good, but it's very like Desperate Housewifey. I watched Desperate Housewives back in the day. Would I watch it now? No. But it feels like the new Desperate Housewives. So it's like, it's so, like, the acting is not bad, but it's just, I don't know, I just don't like it. I don't like it. Maybe the last episode is gonna make me like it, like Severance 2. But as of right now, I'm just like, meh. Please be limited series, because I don't want to have wasted my whole time. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just, I can't get into it. I don't know. I don't want to say the acting is bad, because it's not like they're terrible actors. It's just, maybe it's too dry. Like, it's just not, like, I'm just not into the characters, so I could care less what happens to them. I don't know. That sounds mean. I don't mean to sound mean. It's just, I guess this is just not my kind of show. I don't know. Okay, the next thing that I watched, we watched it over spring break. So we did see this in the movie theater. And it was 100% free, because we had free vouchers because they messed up a movie that we saw, whatever. So this was actually free. We used up all our free vouchers, so no more free movies. It's like, next time I go to the movie, can you mess it up? Can you mess it up so I get more free vouchers? But anyway, so we saw this in the movie theater, and it is called Dogman. Rotten Tomato score gave it 80%. Audience score gave it 83. I think it deserves way higher than that. It stars Pete Davidson, my husband, and Lil Ray Howery, Isla Fisher, Ricky Gervais, my like husband number 4. So 2 of my husbands were in this movie. Oh my gosh. Okay. Obviously, if you know me and my family, you know my son is obsessed with Dogman. Dogman is a book series by Dav Pilkey or something like that. I don't know. My son has every book, and he's read the entire series so many times. I've read up to book 4. I'm just like, and you can read these books, they're graphic novels, you can read them, the whole entire book, in like, I don't know, 45 minutes, you know. But the gist of the story is there's a police officer, and it's animated, obviously. But there's a police officer who has a dog. It's like canine unit or something, you know. And they are chasing down, I guess, Petey the cat, who is Pete Davidson. And Pete Davidson did a fantastic job as Petey the cat. And I'm not just saying that because I love Pete Davidson. It's like, he's so perfect as Petey the cat. Like, just fantastic. Okay. Anyway, so the police officer and the dog are chasing down the world's most evil villain, Petey the cat, and something happens and they get into this car accident or something, and they're taken to the hospital, and the nurse and the doctor are like, I don't understand, because like the police body is fine, but the head is just super messed up, and the dog body is just totally ruined, but the head is okay. And they're like, I have an idea. It's a kid's book, a kid's thing, just go with it. Let's put the dog's head on the man's body, and then everything will be fine. So they do it. So that's how you get Dog Man. Okay? And so yeah, they're fused together, creating Dog Man. Now, Dog Man must stop the evil villain, Petey the cat. And the cop was very stupid. The dog was very smart. So now that they're combined, it's like, whoa, super powers, right? They don't actually have superpowers, but it's like Dog Man, you know? And it's just about them taking down Petey the cat. But I actually, I like Petey the cat. I know he's supposed to be the villain, but I like him. This movie is so funny. I was literally cracking up laughing the entire time. So was my husband. Like, it was so fun and entertaining. I don't care if you have kids or not, your kids are grown. When this, I think next month, I think in April, maybe towards the end of April or something, I think it's supposed to be on Peacock. If you have Peacock, just watch it. It's so hilarious. I don't care if you got kids or not. I intend on watching this movie again, with or without my son. I don't care. I don't care. It was so great and so funny. It was the best. It was the best movie time experience I've had in a very long time. It was so great. So great. And I asked my son, I was like, was it accurate? Because I've read up to book 4, but like that was like a year ago, and he has read it so many times. He knows everything. Like, you can open a book and be like, page whatever, and show him the picture. He's like, oh yeah, this, and he'll, like, he knows it front and back. Okay. He says that this one was, that it was very accurate, and that it goes up to like book 3 maybe. So there's going to be more. There's going to be more. So I'm actually really excited because I'm obsessed with Dog Man now. Like, it's so good. It's so good. And I know it sounds so stupid because it's supposed to be a movie for like little kids, but I don't care. I do not care. It's hilarious. But anyway, so that is all the stuff that I watched for the month of March. I can't wait for April because I've got a bunch of stuff to watch for April. So I can't wait. Anyway, I really hope that you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon.